Hey everyone, my name is Tom from wpwithtom.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to go over how to make a blog on WordPress for beginners. So before we dive into how to make this blog, I just wanted to show you what the final result would look like. And for this blog, we just make a simple 3-page blog with our home page being our blog post and our featured posts within it. Now here we go over how to make a favicon right up here with a free tool that I show you. And right here we go over where to get images for the background, also with a free resource. And we can change this image to be just about anything we would like as our background image there. And we also go over how to add images to our post as a featured image, or when we click read more on our post, we can actually go into see what has been done within here. Here I just use a bunch of dummy text and I show you how to make changes, like how to make large text, how to change text color, and how to also edit things like add links, add SEO, which you can see the rating up here. You might not know what that is now, but I go over how to implement search engine optimization to help us get found within Google, Yahoo, and Bing, and other search engines like that. I also show how to add this social sharing plugin here that will help us be found and help our users share our posts with other people that might be interested in it. We also go over how to add categories and tags to our blog post to help people be able to find them a little bit more easily. Additionally, I go over how to add and edit these widgets here on the side where people can search. They can view your recent post with a quick link there. They can look at archives of when the posts are from, categories again, and I also go over how to add the calendar widget as well, just as we cover the basics of the widget features. Now back on the home page of the blog here, if we scroll down in this second post here, I go over how to add some other features within our blog post, such as an image of me being lazy laying on the couch, and how to embed a YouTube video as well. Now if we go back again, we can go down to the third blog post, and I also go over how to schedule your blog posts in advance. So if you want to send out one each week or something like that, you can do that. In this blog post here, I go over how to bold text, how to set up a link that would go to YouTube here, how to do strike through text, change color of text, add a block quote within the text here, and many more things that come within the post features within WordPress. In the About Me page over here, I just simply added an image and some text with me in it about me. Again, this is just dummy filler text that I use for the website. And in the contact page, I added a simple free contact plugin that we can use to receive our messages for our website. And down here, I actually removed the text that comes by default within the bottom of the theme, so that is no longer there as well. If you're interested in going through this journey with me to making this website, feel free to stick around. In this next part of this video tutorial here, we're going to get into how to sign up for hosting and get started with registering our domain name to get our website live and on the internet. In this part of the video, we're going to go through how to sign up for web hosting to get our website to be live on the internet for others to see. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to go to hostgator.com. That's hostgator.com. And once we get to this website, we're going to click the Get Started Now button. If that has changed, you can always click the Web Hosting button and then click Choose a Plan, or you can simply just scroll down and it will take you to the plans. Either way will work. Now when we get down to this area, we'll see that there's 3 different types of plans. There's the Hatchling plan, the Baby plan, and the Business plan. If you want to compare these plans in more detail than what's shown here, we can go click Compare All Plans right below. But the important things to know here are this Hatchling plan is the most inexpensive plan, and it only hosts a single domain name. despite only hosting a single domain name, you can have subdomain names on that. And if you want to learn more about how to set up a subdomain name, I have a video on that which I will link to within the description below. But the important thing to note with this is a subdomain name is something like tomsblog.wpwithtom.com. So there's a word or phrase, or it could just be random letters or numbers, and then dot, and then a website name, and then dot, and then the domain extension at the end of it. So that's something to note. You can actually make quite a few websites, but you only have one single domain name as a primary domain name that will say something like wpwithtom.com instead of testsite.wpwithtom.com in this example. Now, for a baby plan, I recommend that for people that want to develop many websites, and maybe if you want to make websites for others, this plan can really come in handy for you. And I should point out that they all come with unmetered bandwidth, and I've actually used a baby plan in the past and was able to host around 250 websites on it before I started having some issues with the bandwidth. And it all depends on what kind of site you're running and things like that. But you shouldn't have much of a problem on any of these with the bandwidth unless you're running a crazy huge business or something like that has tons of traffic. So the last plan here is a business plan. And with the business plan, you get things like the free private SSL and an IP. And you also get a free toll-free number. And that could come in handy for you if that's something you really want. In our case, we're just going to sign up with the Hatchling plan, the most inexpensive plan here. And I'm going to click Sign Up now. Now we're going to go through the process of picking out a domain name. Most of the domain names that you're going to find on the web are probably taken, unless you really have something that's unique and that not many people would put in here, it's probably going to be taken because so many good websites and domain names are taken already. So when you search for your domain name, if we put in WP with Tom, which I know is already taken because it's my website, .com right here, it's unavailable. If I were to change that to a different extension like .net here, you'll see that it is actually available. Now, you can also look for other things like different extensions with .club, .site, .net, and there are many more. There's actually been hundreds released within the last couple of years here. So it is something you can look at if you're looking for an alternative that could be more inexpensive, like .space is currently 95 cents right here per year. However, I imagine that this price is significantly more in the second year, while domain names like .com and .net and things like that are less expensive. So if we wanted to, let's just go with wpwithtom1.com, and then we'll click somewhere outside of the box for it to show up, and now it says it's been added as the primary. Because I knew that domain was going to be available, I went with that. And now, once we scroll down here, we're going to see choose a hosting plan, and this just confirms that you're choosing the right one. So that selection you made on the first page doesn't necessarily lock you in. If you change your mind and you decide you don't want to just have one single domain with the Hatchling plan, you want to be able to host a bunch of different domain names and have them live online, you can do that with the baby plan instead. So it's really up to you. You can also use the business plan, as I said earlier, but I tend to think most people go with either the Hatchling or a baby, and the most go with Hatchling if they have a business already and they know they're only going to really need one website, or they just want to practice for an inexpensive amount. The other option is the baby plan that others go with that seem to be aspiring developers, or they want to have their own company and host others' websites or host many different websites. So I'll just leave it at baby. Either one is really fine, and it's really kind of up to you and what scenario you're in and what you're looking for. And next it will tell you the billing cycle. I have a coupon that actually will give you a discount for the first month. It will bring it down to 1 cent for the first month. So I'm going to make this go to 1 cent. And if you want, I actually have a discount coupon that can get you 25% off any month rather than 20%. And I will show you the link for both of those shortly here. But first, we're going to go over the username. I'm just going to make a random username. I'll just do the same one I had. WP with Tom1 will be my username. And let's just do a random pin like that. And we'll scroll down. and this is where you would enter your billing information. And I'm not going to go through this process here because I'm actually going to use a subdomain name of my already established Hatchling Plan domain. And if you want to, you can just pay with PayPal or you can pay with your credit card. It's totally up to you how you want to pay, but both options are available. After you filled out that information, we'll go down here and we'll see that there's other additional kind of add-ons that you can add. I'm actually not going to use any of these, but I'll run through them real quickly. Domain privacy protection is basically it will hide who owns the domain name. If not, your records will be open to the public to see, but it's only for people that are actually looking that kind of information up. I will note one thing, that I have been kind of spammed, and I know this happens to everyone else that doesn't make theirs private. In the first few days after you register a domain name, lots of people reach out to you and try to get you to buy their services, to basically sell you services to build you a website, because they think, wow, a lot of people just register their websites and we have a chance to be the first ones to offer them business, and they might be lost and in need of it. So people try to kind of do some spammy tactics that way, but I usually just move them to the spam or block them and, you know, delete their emails, and that's about it. I would rather do that than pay another $12.95 per year. And then this protect your site from hackers. As long as we keep our site updated and have a good password and use a security plugin or two that we'll go through in a course, we'll be alright. So I'm going to check that off as well. You could use this and get a professional email like you@yourdomain.com, as they show here. I actually may go over how to do this in another course. I'm not going to be able to go through that all in this course because I'm trying to do it in a limited amount of time. But it is something a little bit more technical, and I want to be able to just show you how to make a regular blog and not have to worry too much about getting too technical here, because this is a tutorial that's catered toward beginners who are just starting out. I don't want to overwhelm you with this. At this point, I wouldn't worry too much about this. You can always upgrade to this at a later point with HostGator if that's something you really want to do. And they'll probably set it up for you and take all the technical aspects out of it. And down here, it's back up your hard work. And I just wanted to point out, this does back up certain files like databases and emails and things like that. But your work, your website will be backed up every week with a weekly regular backup on HostGator. And I've had an instance probably like 6 or 7 years ago where I had a bunch of my websites get hacked because I didn't update the WordPress versions for months. And it was when I was just starting out. I didn't know anything, and WordPress was, I'll at least say, fairly new at the time, at least to me. And I didn't really know what I was doing, and they were able to restore all my content without any issues. So I wouldn't worry too much about that as well. And like I said, we're going to go over a couple security things within the actual course that should make a difference. So next we're going to get down to where it says coupon code. And since we're set up for a monthly plan right now, I just wanted to show you the total amount would be $22.51, and that would include the domain name, which I chose wpwithtom1.com, and then it would also include the baby plan. And the baby plan, if you remember, is $9.56 per month in this case. So if I wanted to, I could go here and I could just type YT 1 cent start, and it's YT like YouTube, 1 cent start. And if I click to validate that, we're going to see this $22.51 go down, and there we go. It went down from $22.51 to $12.96 here. And I just wanted to point out a couple things. There is a 45-day money-back guarantee, and it does come with obviously live chat, and there's instant activation. So other things you can go over are the terms of service right down here, the cancellation policy, and as I mentioned, there's the money-back guarantee of 45 days. I'd also like to be very upfront and say that these are affiliate coupon codes that bring these prices down like this. And it does really help me to continue to be able to make free videos like this for you guys and girls, and I would really appreciate it if you did use my coupon codes. And I want to thank you if you do decide to do that. And I just wanted to point out, I believe that if you cancel, you actually will not get the money back for the domain name registration, because that will still go on for a year. You'll still have access to that domain for 1 year. I don't believe you can cancel that early on into having the domain name. So you will only be refunded for the package or the plan here that you've paid into hosting. Now I will say I was also going to give you the coupon code for 25% off, and that is simply YT 25% off. And if I click validate, I think it's actually going to raise the price because we have the 1 year plan in effect here. But now you'll see these all have changed from the 1 month rather, and now you'll see these all have changed from 20% to 25%. So if you wanted to do 1 year and get 25% off instead, just verify that none of these other buttons have been checked, because sometimes it randomly does that. And if we look, it says it is $120.50, and that's if we have the baby plan for that long. If we wanted to go with the hatchling, it would be a lower price, and let's go with it and look at the hatchling price at 12 months, and the hatchling would be $93.50. We'd get $29 off basically right here. So when you're happy with whatever plan you want to go with, I would definitely just click I have read and agreed to the terms of service, cancellation policy, and privacy policy. Again, you can read over those if you'd like, and then just click checkout now, and we'll proceed onward in the course. Hey everyone, in this part of the course we're going to go over how to set up and install WordPress on our hosting control panel area. Now what you'll want to do is you're going to want to go and find your welcome email from HostGator, and in this case mine says HostGator your account info, and it will say things like this: shared plan, your control panel, your username, password, things like that. I've obviously already changed my password, but you can do that later if you would like, or just leave it as is. It's really not a big deal. It's pretty secure as long as you're not making a video like I am here. So once you have found this email from HostGator, what you'll want to do is you'll just click on where it says your control panel, and you'll also need to probably copy this password and remember the username that you need to put in. So after you click that link, it'll open up into this control panel area, and I've actually saved mine by default. But here's where you would put that information in. Your password and your login right here would go within this control panel area. And then you can just simply click login. I will recommend that you kind of favorite or star this or whatever you'd like to do within your email provider's service here. And that way you can keep track of this email, because it is definitely something you might have to refer back to in the future. So now that we're logged in to the control panel, you're usually prompted with a pop-up of some sort. I'm just going to say no, I'm fine, thanks, because I don't need help getting started. And I'm going to first just go down, and if for some reason you used a different hosting provider than HostGator, you would have to use an add-on domain name. But since we already have used HostGator in this tutorial, I'm going to assume that you did as well. And we'll go down to where we see software and services in this section, and we'll click on quick install here. Now once this page is done loading, we can go to where it says WordPress here on the left side, and it will automatically scroll us down, and we're going to use install WordPress for free. We're going to use the free option here rather than any of these premium paid options, because we want to do this ourselves and save some money in the process. So you're going to have a domain here, probably only one in your case since you just signed up. In my case, I have a few different domains here. They're all subdomain names except for my main primary domain name, which is wpwithtom.com. And I'm just going to go to where it says blog course. That's the one I've created in my case. You would want to select the one that you just set up. And here's where you would put your administrative email. In my case, I'm just going to put wpwithtom@gmail.com, and I will also just title the blog, and you can just make it about anything you want. I'll just name it just another WordPress site, just because that's what they usually name it when you see a default blog, and I'll just leave it like that. The admin username, now this is important because you don't want it to actually just say admin. Admin is kind of like the default username, and it's much easier for a hacker to guess if it says admin. So you might want to make this your own name or something like that. I'm going to make mine my name, and it is case sensitive, I believe, so take note of that. And I'm going to make mine my own name here, and I'm actually just going to write my name again here as well. And then after I'm happy with how things look here, and I make sure I have the right website here, I'll just click Install WordPress. And I'm not going to click Find a Theme here because we're going to go into that shortly. After this section loads up here, you're going to see View Credentials on the right in this little drop down. You want to click that, and you're probably going to want to copy this information into a notepad document or something like that for now. So if I go and I pull up a notepad document here, you can copy it in anywhere, Word, whatever you want to do, and I'm just going to save this information here, and we're going to need this to log in. This is a temporary password that they give you for the first time. You can see it right here, and this is your login link. I would like to point out that every time you make a WordPress website like this through a control panel, you're going to have it say WP-admin. And I know that's how it is every time with HostGator, at least in most blogs or most hosting providers, but I think GoDaddy may be different, so that is something to note as well. If we just click on this link and let's click to open it in a new tab, we'll see what happens. And here's where we can put our username or email and then our password. So we're going to grab this information over here that we put into the document, and we'll just paste it in. If you know your username, that's fine. You can just type it in if you'd like. But this you're probably going to have to copy since it's the first time using this more secure password. We'll paste that in and we'll just click Login. And now we're into the dashboard of the website. If you've had any issues getting to this point, please definitely reach out to me. But from here we're going to go over how to change our password, and we'll start going into different features within the dashboard here. Now before I finish off this section of the website, I just wanted to also note that you may not have your website give you access to log in right away. You might not have that login where it says your domain name /WP-admin, WP-admin I should say. You might not have access to it right away. It does take time to propagate. Sometimes it takes a few hours. It can even take around 24 hours to propagate. So you may not have access to it right away. The reason why I have access to it right away is because my hosting plan is already an established one. Yours may have to go through this propagation period. So don't be alarmed if you cannot log in right away. I would definitely wait maybe a half hour and check it, and then if it's still not ready, maybe wait a few hours and check back to it. Do not be alarmed though if it isn't working right away. Now I know what some of you are thinking. You're probably thinking, great, I have another password to worry about. But in this case, we actually don't have to use that password that was generated for us. We can go up here in the right corner and hover over this and go to Edit My Profile here. And then we can just scroll down a ways here. And once we get down to, well, I'll show you this first. This is our email, and it's required. This is for contact info. And if you were to lose your password and need to try to retrieve it when you log in at your domain name /WP-admin, you can click Lost Password and it would go to this email address. So if you need to change it, that's something I would highly recommend. But down here where it says New Password, we can click on Generate Password and it will give us another one, a bunch of letters. And we want something that's easier to remember than this bunch of letters that we first got, or this one right here. I'm actually going to click Hide and not show you, but I'll type a password that I'll be able to remember. And I suggest that you do the same and make it a strong password, and this will be your password to log into this WP-admin area each time after we click Update Profile here. And I am going to not save that password in this case, but that's the new password that I've set. And if you need to edit it, you can always go down here and just generate a new one and edit it yourself with whatever one you would be able to remember. So as we scroll up here, I want to go on the left side here And we will cover most of these things as the course goes on. But first, I want to get our theme installed. We'll go to where it says Appearance, and again we're going to hover over it, and we'll just click on where it says Themes, the first option here under Appearance. And by default, you have their previous themes installed on here, 2014, 2015, and 2016. So I'm going to actually just click where it says Theme Details on 2014, and I'm going to just delete that, and I'm going to confirm that I want to delete that. I'm going to do the same for 2015 and then click Delete again and confirm I want to delete that. Now once we're left with just 2016, it will take up the full screen and we won't be able to delete it. And the reason is because we have to have at least one theme present on our WordPress website. Even if it is just this default theme, we need to have something there. So when we want to add a new theme, we're going to use a free theme in this course, and we'll click Add New there. And now we can search a lot of themes. You can search by featured, popular, you can search by the latest, favorites. Premium are going to be paid ones. You can search for certain things like blog or color or anything like that. I like to use a lot of them from within the popular section. If you scroll down, there's a lot of good ones. I've made tutorials using a lot of these themes before. And the one I'm actually going to use is called Nisarg, N-I-S-A-R-G. And I might be totally mispronouncing that, but this is the theme. And we can review it if we want to look at details and preview. And you can see it has a 5-star rating basically, and this gives you a little preview of what the theme will look like. Doesn't look like much, but it will definitely get the job done for what we want to do in this course. And I'll just click Install. You can also click Install on the other page without going into the preview. And then I will click Activate here to activate the theme as our main theme. If you didn't click to activate it out there, it would be on this position here, a second position, and then you would just click to activate it if you needed to. Now that this Nisarg theme is our main theme here, we can click on Theme Details for 2016 and get rid of that. So let's click on this, and then we'll click Delete for the 2016 theme, and we'll click OK, and now we're left with just this one. So that's the theme we're going to be using for this course. And next I just wanted to get into covering some of these elements here on the left side, and also setting up our menu for this blog site. So what we're going to do here is check out the dashboard, and the dashboard is basically like our home page or our home area within the actual dashboard. I just call this whole area the dashboard. And in here we just have a few basic things if you want to like see things at a glance or make a quick draft of a post to post within your blog here. You could do that, but that's not really the place that we're going to be using to make posts. That would be this place right here, the post page below it. You can also do updates within this home area as well within a dashboard, and it is definitely something you want to keep up on and update your WordPress version to the latest version when that happens. And it will simply just say update, and you click the button that says update, and that's it. That's all there really is to it. Now here within the post page, we would write things like our blog posts. Here it has Hello World by default, and if we wanted to open up our website and see what it looks like now, we'll see that there should be the outline of the theme left on there. And here we are, and this is the outline of our theme, and here it says Hello World, and it has a just dummy post here, and it says welcome to WordPress. This is your first post, edit or delete it, and then start writing. So if we go and we click on where it says edit, or we click Hello World right here, that's the post name. When we click edit, we'll see that that's exactly what it says, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post, edit or delete it, then start writing. And if we wanted to change this, we can make changes to it and then click update. But we're going to get into that here in the upcoming part of the course. For now, I just wanted to show you where you would write posts for your blog post to be. Next, we'll go to media, and in the media section is basically where you would add video or images, and more importantly, I think images. You would just click add new, and then you can upload the images from there. Pages is what we're going to work on right now. We're actually going to look at the site, and if we scroll up, we'll see that we do not have anything here right now. We just have this sample page, and I'm going to just go and click on it right here and click trash. And now we can see that there's 1 in the trash and 0 in all, and I'm just going to delete it permanently. I like to delete everything permanently that I'm not using. And here we're going to go to pages and then click add new, and this is where we're going to create pages for our menu. So let's just make this page just say home, and I'll click publish over here on the right. Next we'll go to add new again, and I'll make this one just say about me, and I will publish that as well. And next I'll click add new for the third one, and I'll just make this one say contact, and I'll publish this one as well. So those 3 pages have been published. Now to get into changing the look for that, we're going to do that within the appearance area here on the left side, but I'll just cover the comments before we get to that. Comments is where you can view comments that were written on your posts, and you can kind of sort through and basically see and weed out spam if they're spam, or reply to comments, things like that. So I'm going to click on this and just trash this one for now, and I'm going to go into the trash again and delete it permanently, as I always do with these. So next I'm going to skip over Marketplace, because that's kind of promotional services and things like that. It comes by default now with HostGator, I believe, so I'm just going to leave it as is and just ignore that. Now if we go into appearance, we'll go to where it says appearance in this case, and not themes this time, but we're going to go down to where it says menus, and here is where we're going to set up our menu. I'm just going to make 3 pages for this website, and I'm actually going to delete this one right here, and I'm going to reorder them, and you can reorder them by clicking on it and dragging it up. Now if you wanted to have a drop down on a page, let's say we wanted to make contact a drop down page on the menu for about me, you would click on it and hover it and then move it, and it would be diagonal like this to the about me page, and now it says sub item, so you know it would be part of the drop down menu. I'm going to make it a regular menu and leave it like this. And something we have to do is name our menu. If you want, you could just name it menu 1 or main menu. I usually name it main menu or primary menu or something like that. And then I will just click create menu. Now what we have to do is, to make this go into effect, we have to put it as our top primary menu. And we can just click on this right here, and then we click save menu. Now if we go back and we refresh this page here, we'll see the home, about me, and the contact links come here up at the top of the page. So now we have a menu in place. To go over other things like customization and things like that, you can do that within the customize area. The widgets area we can change, the header. We also can change that in other ways. This is where we would add plugins, where plugins in this section would be things that can give our website a real boost. I'm actually going to click on this button and just click to deactivate all and apply. And then again I will click right here and I will click delete, and then I'll apply. And I'll delete all 3 of the plugins that are currently there. And now we have no plugins there. And we're going to add a couple plugins here in the upcoming part of the course, but for now that's all I want to do within the plugin section. Plugins, I should say, are basically like almost like apps for a smartphone. They make your phone have increased functionality that you normally wouldn't have, and it can be a real boost to your website, especially within WordPress. Users, this is where you could add new users and change your profile. That you can also change your password and stuff here, as well as where I showed you to edit my profile here. Settings is something that we're going to get into when we're changing our menu and when we're going over different settings within the actual WordPress site itself. But for now I just wanted to show you these parts of the website, and next we're just going to get into changing the appearance of our website itself so it doesn't look just like this. Now there's actually several different ways that we can customize the look of our website here, just so you know that, but the number one way that we're going to be using in this course is we're actually going to go into where it says Appearance and then Customize. And now, once we're in this Appearance Customize section, we're going to see a lot of different options. And the good part about this is you can actually make the updates here and see the changes in live time right here in real time, what they would look like. So if we click on this first one, it says Site Identity here. We'll see that it has the site title and then it has the tagline. So if you wanted to look, this would be considered our site title right here, just a WordPress site. And then below it, it says the tagline, just another WordPress site right here. So I wanted to point that out. So if we wanted to change that, let's just change this to, say, Tom's Awesome Blog. And then if we wanted to go down here, we can just make it say something like follow me one post at a time. Follow my life. Let's put follow my life one post at a time. Notice that it is case sensitive for each of the words, regardless of how I write it over here. And if you didn't want to display that, you could actually choose to disable this, and then it will be blank. And that's where our photo is going to go in the upcoming part of this course here. But for now, I'm going to leave it there just so we have something. I like it to have something, and we can actually change the color of the font if needed. Now this would be for our favicon, and that's the icon that you would see at the top of a website in a tab right here. You might see like an F for Facebook, for example, or the little video player for YouTube, which is red. So you might see something like that up here, and that's what this site icon is, this favicon. And we're going to go into how to make one of those shortly, but for now we're just going to click this back button here. If you want to, you can save it and publish, but I'm just going to move on to where it says Colors. And this is where you would change your header text color and your background color. And the header background color is applied to the header background right here. So I'm actually going to go and just change the color just to show you what it would look like. If we wanted to, we could change it to be like that. Now that's just an example. I'm going to just leave it as this for now. Now the header image, by default, we can use these ones that are preloaded on here, and we can have something like this and have this beautiful image that comes within the theme. And then we can see, oh well, the text doesn't go too well on it with this color. So we can go back here and go to colors, and we can change the text color to, let's say, white. And you can see it a little bit better. Maybe a red would show up. Not so much. You can go through and try different ones. And then if you find something you like, maybe you add it in there and you choose it. If you see what I'm doing here, this goes with the transparency of the text color here. You can change that throughout your blog, and you can actually scroll it around here and choose something you like. I'm also going to go into how to change the background image here with free to use background images that are beautiful, and how to resize them to fit properly. If we go back into where it says background image again, we'll see, not background image, I mean header image, sorry. If we go back into there, we'll see it says 1600 by 400, and that's what we're going to have to use as far as the pixel size goes for the image. If you want to, you can look at other images that are on here as well and use one of them. That's completely fine. So after you're happy with how that will look, you can move on, and remember, we can change this image, and I'll go into that in a bit. Next, this will be the background image, and I believe that will go in the area down here as the background of the actual blog in this area. So I don't know that for sure, but I assume that's where it would go. Next is menus. We already have our menu location set up as our main menu, this one right up here, and you can change that within here or in the appearance menu section as we just went over earlier. Next will be widgets, and we're actually going to go into that as well. But widgets are basically what goes on the sidebar. And if you see, we have recent posts, recent comments, archives, and then we have categories and meta here on the sidebar. And that's what would go in here. If you wanted to change these, we can actually go through, and I'm going to just delete some. I'm going to delete meta, and by clicking on this little arrow here, it will bring a drop down, and then we can just click remove here to get rid of that. Now if we scroll down, we'll see that meta is no longer down here as the bottom one. So that's how you can delete or add different categories within the widgets area. And next, if we want to go back again, we can go to where it says static front page, and then I want the front page to display my latest post. I want the front page to be my blog. If you want your front page to be a home page that's not your blog, you can do that. Let's say you want it to be the About Me page. You can click a static page here, and I'm going to go into the settings area where we can change that maybe a little bit better than here. But for right now, I want this to be my blog post showing up right here on the front page. So I'm going to leave that as is. Next, if we scroll down, we'll see the accent color. I actually really like this color, and the accent color is right here. When we hover over it, we can see it. And also, if you see right here, this is the accent color. This here is the accent color in this area as well. I'm going to leave that as is. And the last one is the post options. You can choose to post it as an excerpt, which means just part of the post and then it will be cut off, or the full post itself. This really depends on how long your blogs are and things like that, but I tend to like the post excerpt a little bit more, because then you can choose to kind of give a hook to your blog that will keep people wanting to read it, and then they'll click read more, and they'll open up the rest of the blog and read through it, and they can view more of them at one time and kind of skim through the options that are on your blog rather than having to go scroll through a whole article every time. So for now, I'm going to just click save and publish to save all of these changes here, and then I'm going to click this X button to go back out of this area. Next, I'm going to go over how to create a favicon here to add to our site for our site identity up here at the top. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a website called logomaker.com. That's LOGOMAKR.com. There's no E in this URL. So it's LOGOMAKR again. And I'm going to just X out of the video here, and they offer some services that you could take advantage of. But the important thing that we're going to have to look at here is we're going to go back into where the customization area is within the dashboard, and we'll do that by going to Appearance, Customize, and we're going to need to find out how big the image needs to be. Now I know this from previous experience, but if you click on Site Identity here, it will say your icon needs to be 512 pixels wide and tall, at least that big, and you want it to be a square. So you want it to be 512 by 512 or a little bit bigger than that. It could be like 600 by 600 and that would be fine. So let's go back to the website, this logomaker.com site, and I'm actually just going to go and browse all logos, and I'm going to find an image that looks good. If you want to and you're not sure which kind of image you want here, you could go through them, but I'm actually going to just type in camera here in my case, and I'm going to use a camera image that was already made for my own icon up at the top here. So let's find one that we like. If you find one that you like, or if you want to do a different type of site altogether, you can totally find various kind of icons on here that would work for you. I'm going to go with this one right here. This one looks a little odd and I kind of like it. But let's go up here in the upper right corner, and we'll have to change this to be 512 by 512. Or you can do slightly larger, as I said, and it will auto fit the white space to where that needs to be. As you can see, I typed 1512 there. This is what it should be, like this size. So for some reason our camera disappeared when I did that, so let's just go into camera again, click it again, and there it is. Now to resize it, you can see if you hover over the corners, it will say drag to resize and then drag to move. So to start moving it, we can just drag it up into the other corner here. And you want this image to take up almost every inch of space there is, every little pixel of space there is. So once you're happy with how it looks, we can leave it as is right there, or you can actually drag it downwards and make it take up more space and drag it upwards to maximize the space. And it may look huge right here, but you have to remember that it's going to be in this little tiny area, just like this logo is right here, this favicon I mean is right here. So you want it to take up that much space as possible in that little area. So you'll click out of it here, and verify that it's 512 by 512, and we're just going to save it here. And I'll save the file. They offer some other services like business cards, banners, t-shirts that you can put your logo on. I'm going to close out of that for now, and I'm just going to close out of the website here. Now I'm going to go back to where it says our site identity within the appearance section of the dashboard, and in the appearance customized section of the dashboard actually, and I'm going to click select image here. And here I'm just going to go to upload files, and I'll just click select files, and I'll locate the file that we have as our image file, and I'll upload it. Now, something I should point out here, you may want to title this something like Tom's favicon, something that would tell you what it is, but it also can help for SEO purposes rather than just having some random text there. And again, you want to verify that it's 512 by 512. Make sure it's that, or big, or slightly larger, and that it's a square. I'm going to click select here. Now I'm going to go to save and publish. And as you can see, it's actually already up there in the upper corner right up here. So there's our icon, our favicon is now updated. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to actually click back here, and then we're going to go into our header image. And our header image is the one that goes up here. So if we just click on this one here, we can see what it would look like again. And this is a great looking picture. If you wanted to keep that as your picture, you totally could. But I'm going to show you how to get free images in another place, and how you can use a free website to also make them fit properly and things like that. And you can put almost any image up here once you stretch it out and make it take up this size area. And this size area right here is 1600 by 400 pixels. Now the website I'm going to go to first is called canva.com. That's canva.com. And you will be prompted to sign up for an account when you get here for the first time. So just take note of that. But you can actually go, and once you're signed up for the account, which is free and they don't spam you and things like that, you can go to use custom dimensions up in the upper right corner. Before I actually get into that, I just want to point out you can make all different size images, like a Facebook cover for your Facebook page, Twitter designs, all kinds of things, YouTube thumbnails. You can do just about anything. So once we go up here and we click use custom dimensions, I'm going to put in 1600 by 400, just as it had said on the other area. Now if we want to, we can go into where it says elements here on the left, and then free photos, and we can search through some free photos here that we might want to add to our website. So let's say if you scroll through some of these photos and you find one you like, I'll just go with this one. I'm actually not going to use this, but if you wanted to, you can simply drag it like we did earlier, and you can make it fit into this area, and then click out of it, and then you can simply download it as a JPG file. And you can actually click on it again and resize it if you want it to be lower or something like that. And this is just an example. I'm actually going to click out of it. I'm going to use a different website, and this one is called pixabay.com. That's pixabay.com. And you can search for tons of free to use high quality images here. It says over 720,000 free stock photos, vectors, and art illustrations. So if I just wanted to type in something like scenery and search for that, you can actually look for different types of images. Now I'll point out here, these images are by Shutterstock, and they are not free to use. They're basically like ways that they advertise on this site. However, if you wanted to, you can go to size it here and make sure the image is larger than 1600 by 400, and then just click go, and then it will sort through and only show you images that are at least that large. Something I would also say, you would want an image that's more horizontal, like this one is more horizontal. There's some that are even larger, or wider I should say, as far as horizontal goes, that you could use in your own website. Now this is a free to use site, and if you do download these images, if you download the largest size image, let's say this is a good horizontal one here that you could use, right? You'd probably have to use black text since it's mostly a lighter background. But if you wanted to download it, you would click free download here on the right. And then if you tried to download this original size, which is probably the one you'd actually have to download in this case, it would prompt you to sign up for an account. However, if you download a medium size, which is smaller, you would not be prompted to sign up for an account, but you would be prompted to fill out CAPTCHA, like a bunch of random numbers, and it'll be like 1970 or something like that. Now let's go down. This would also be good. This would be as well, since they're both horizontal. And after, let's just go through the process of downloading one and adding it. So let's just go through this one. I'm going to download this one now. You click on it, and you'll click free download. And then I'll just click download on it. Now you'll see that it will give me the option to just download it. I've actually downloaded this one before, so maybe that's why it didn't ask me for CAPTCHA for it. And now if I wanted to, I can go over here, back to canva.com, click on uploads, and I can upload the image by clicking right here. And then, as you can see, I've actually already uploaded the image here. And if I want to, I can grab it and drag it, and notice how it fits much better than the previous one had. It's much more of a natural fit than having to move it around to fit how you want it to look. So you can do that and kind of make it work for your image here, for your background. And you can, obviously you can drag it and things like that and resize it to fit properly. And then after you do that, you would simply go to download and then click image for the web, JPG, and save it somewhere. And then after we do that, we'll go back over to our area here where we were in the dashboard area, the customization area I should say, and then we'll click add new image. And here we'll go to upload files, and I'm just going to go to select files, and I'm going to find an image that I actually already created similar to that one that we were just working with. And there's a few different ones that I made already, just edited in Canva, and I'm going to use this one for the background here. And I'll just call this one field scenery, and I'll select and crop, and then you can actually just go, you can choose to skip the cropping most of the time, but if you want to choose just to fit perfectly on this, I can do that as well. I'm just going to click crop image here, and now if we look at the background, there it is. And if you don't like how this text below works, you can simply just get rid of it if you wanted to with the site identity where it says follow my life one post at a time. If you're having trouble seeing that, you can actually remove that, and then it will just say whatever you have as your site title. I'm going to leave mine in there, and I'm just going to save and publish it. For now, that's what I wanted to show you, but another website I'll actually show you real quick is called unsplash.com, and you can get some free to use images from here as well. Once you go to this website, I suggest making it this layout so you don't have to scroll through so many images, and then you can see there's lots of high quality images on here that are free to use images as well. And I would say the only difference here is you're probably going to have to join to be able to download the images, while on Pixabay you don't necessarily have to join or sign up with an email and everything like that. But these are some free to use references or resources out there that could really help you out to start creating some beautiful images for your blog and get a nice background set up if that's what you want. Again, there's nothing wrong with using this one that already comes with the blog right here, but a lot of people might have already used that and you kind of want yours to be unique, I would imagine. So I hope this helps. In the next part, we're going to get into installing some plugins here and get started with our first plugins and how to set those up. Now before we jump over into adding our plugins, I just wanted to quickly show you that right down here we can actually view what our site would look like on a tablet device here. And right now we don't have a lot going on, but you can see what it would look like on a tablet that it is mobile responsive. And this is what it would look like on a phone with a different drop down menu right here. And we can see what it would look like when we scroll down through there. So this is something you want to use going forward to make sure your site looks good on different size devices. So now let's go back into the plugin area. We'll just click X here in the upper left. And Then we'll navigate to plugins if you aren't already, and you can click add new here or right here on this button. And I'm just going to start off with a plugin. And if you type in login, I'm going to look for this one, Loganizer. And right now it says last updated 3 months ago, and it says untested with your version of WordPress. You usually want to get only plugins that have been tested with your version of WordPress, but WordPress literally just updated 2 days ago while I was making this tutorial. So that's why it's probably untested right now, and I imagine it's going to update soon. Another good thing to look at here is the ratings here, and it has 28, and they're basically a 5-star rating with over 200,000 plus active installs of the plugin. So if we want to, we can click install now, and I'm just going to install each of these plugins and then tell you more about them. After we do that, we can click activate on it, or we can click activate within the plugins dashboard. So there it is, it's activated. Now we can go and click add new. For this next one, I'm going to add a plugin called Yoast SEO, and that's spelled Y-O-A-S-T SEO. And it's going to be this one with the stoplight here, and we'll just click install now. And we'll activate it again. And it came up with a pop-up message, but we'll get to that shortly. Next, we're going to click add new yet again. And here we're going to look for one called Access Press Social Share. And let's try to make this Access Press Social Share. Access Press is one word, and this is the one that we're looking for right here, Access Press Social Share. And I'm going to click install now and activate this one. And next, I'm going to add the last one for now, and this one's going to be called Contact Form 7. And here we go. We'll click install now, and again we will activate this. And that's going to be it for the plugins within this tutorial. There are a lot more plugins, and there's a lot of premium plugins that are paid, but all 4 of these are free to use, and I wanted to give you good solid plugins that you can have a base for your site with here to give you what you need for your blog to do well, but also not have to spend any money in doing so. So I'm actually just going to X out of all these other pages that I had open before and just have our website homepage and these plugins here now left. First, let's go and scroll down here, and we'll go into the Loganizer security plugin. Now here it says, welcome to Loganizer Security. By default, the brute force protection is immediately enabled. So what that means is brute force is a way that hackers may try to attack your website and to get your login information and your password correct, just basically by guessing like thousands of times and try to work their way in and guess the right password eventually. So that's awesome that it comes automatically enabled. And if we click on brute force down here in the dashboard area, we'll see that it says brute force settings. It says maximum failed attempts allowed before lockout. Now that applies to when you're logging in with your WP-admin here to log into your site. You'd have your URL /WP-admin, and then you would put your login and password in there. Now, if you were incorrect multiple times, it would lock you out. I'm going to actually up this to be 5 times, and I'm actually probably going to leave the other settings as is, but you can be set to lockout time, so if they got it wrong 5 times, they'd be locked out for more than 15 minutes. Just know that you can always click to retrieve your password if you have the email part set up properly. So having this at 5 is probably plenty in reality, because you can always retrieve it with your email, assuming that you do have access to that email still. And I'm just going to save these settings. You can change them if you would like though. And now we have some kind of security set up. Next, let's go into Yoast SEO by clicking SEO here on the left. And for those of you that do not know what SEO is search engine optimization. And search engine optimization just basically means that you're going to try to optimize your website to be found within search engines such as Google, Yahoo, Bing, all these kind of search engines. So you're trying to optimize your website the best you can to show up near the top of the rankings. This is a multi-billion-dollar business, I'm sure, and it has a lot of competition, but with this plugin, at least will point you in the right direction and get you started to try to rank for some keywords. Now, I do not want to subscribe to this, and this is a new pop-up here. And if I just scroll down here, actually, I can go and close out of it. And it's giving me messages saying that they haven't updated and says not to miss certain things going on. I'm just going to hide those and then click Save Changes because I don't want this annoying little pop-up to keep showing up here. And we're going to get into some SEO features as we start making blog posts, but for now we have it installed and you should have an idea of what it does. This Access Press Social Share is another helpful plugin, especially for blogs. And what this does is it shows up and appears at the bottom of your blog post. You can actually have it at the bottom and top, or the top only, or the bottom only. I usually put it at the bottom of blog posts, and it gives people the ability to quickly share on their social media accounts your blog that you've posted or your content that you've posted. So I actually like to have this enabled. I usually don't have it on Dig or LinkedIn, and I'll just take it off Dig and I'll put it on email so they can share it via email. You can honestly put all of them and give them the ability to print it and have it on Dig as well. And I'm just going to save those settings in my case. You can put it on whichever ones you want people to be able to share it from. Next, we'll go into Share Options. And I personally only like to have mine show up on posts and not every page of the website. I want it to only be at the bottom of blog posts. So once we're happy with that, I can save that as well. And if you want to look at display settings, I have it by default right here below content, and that's what I'm going to leave. But if you want to have the sharing option in other places, you can. And down here shows you what your sharing option will look like underneath your blog post. So you can go with theme 1, theme 2 here with the larger banner, theme 3 with smaller icons, theme 4, theme 5, or theme 6 right down there. So I'm actually going to just go with theme 4 here. And again, I'm going to save it. I don't know if you have to save it every time, but it's probably safe to do so. Next, if we go into miscellaneous, you can go through these settings, like if you want to have a social share counter enabled, and I'm going to leave that as no. I don't want everyone to see how many times it's been shared, but if you're curious about it, you can always have that enabled. It might be hard to see though if you're only getting like one shared every time. That might kind of stink, so you might not want to see it actually. But it's totally up to you for what you want to do there as well. The last thing that I wanted to go over was the other plugin, which is Contact Form 7. And if we see now we have this other icon here called Contact, let's just go to Add New. And in this section, let's just add a title here, and we'll call this Contact Form. Very original, I know, but we have to name it something. And right here, I just wanted to go over this. This is what your viewers will see when they come to your website. They'll see it says your name, and then if it has this asterisk right up after this, it means it's required. So it's required that they have text in here for your name. It's required that it's an email address when it says your email. And subject, I'm going to make also required here, and I'm going to make that required as well, and it will have a submit or send button. Now I'm just going to save that here. And now you'll see that it gives us a short code here. It says copy this short code and paste it into your post, page, or text widget. So if we click on it, we can simply right click, copy, and if we go into pages here, we can go into pages and go to contact where our contact page is, click edit, and now we can just go into the text side right here. There's visual and there's text. Let's go into the text side, and then we'll just paste that in. You can right click and paste, or if you're on Windows you can hit Control V. And now we'll click over here where it says update. Now I know we haven't refreshed our page in a while here, but this is what our home page now looks like on a blog when it refreshes. And it does have this image there. And now if we click on contact, we can see that down here is our fields with our contact page with, it says your name required, your email required, subject, and your message. So the reason why it doesn't show up as required next to it is because we actually didn't write that within the contact page. So if we go back to the contact tab and let's just click edit here, we didn't write required after it. So we could do that and have that show up. So let's just copy that and we'll put it to the right side of each of them. And we can just save that. And before we actually jump over into that, we'll go to where it says mail here. And you have to make sure that right here, your to is set up to where you want the email to actually go to. It should go by default to the email that you've put in for your email related to the dashboard and login and everything like that. However, you may have to change this, so make sure you have it set up correctly there. And then we'll just save it. And let's go back here. And we'll just scroll down. We'll see that it now says required for all of them. So these people would have to fill out these requirements on this contact page to contact us. And if you don't like these widgets on the right side, I believe we can get rid of those pretty easily coming up here. But I just wanted to show you this for now, how this looks. Now if we go back into here to go through some of these other plugins, we're going to do that as we progress through this tutorial here. And I'll go over how to see what the AccessPress Social Share looks like and what the SEO plugin needs to do on posts. Next, we're going to get into posts here and start going through that. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is jump into the post tab here on the left side. And we're just going to go and delete this post right here. And we're going to delete it permanently here after we trash it. So after we're done doing that, we can just go and click Add New to make a new post. And I've actually went ahead and written some dummy text just so we can add it to the blog post here to make it a little easier and more filled up. And I'm just going to call this first one Tom's Photos, since it is a photography blog here. And I will just paste the text right into this area here. Now I just wanted to show you right here is a toolbar toggle. This will open up more options within here. And to get started, let's go up here at the top. And I'm just going to show you how to change some of the text. So let's just say we wanted to bold this text right here. We can go right here and click the B for bold. If we wanted to, we can go over here and we can italicize this right here. With a strike through, we would need to do something like highlight a bunch of text here and then do a strike through right here. Another thing I like to do is to use horizontal rows, horizontal lines right here. And that will just break up the text basically if you have that in there. I noticed that when I try to use a read more button on here, it doesn't always work so well. But this is where you would insert a read more tag, and that would basically break up your text on blog posts. And I actually have a video on my YouTube channel about how to do this when this button does not work in these free blogs with a plugin. And it could be helpful for you to check that out. And I will actually go and embed that video within one of these posts just to show you how to embed a video here shortly. Another thing we can do is if we wanted to, we could make a quote. Let's say we're going to quote this right here. And we'll use this block quote and it will just indent it in on its own right there like that. Another thing that we can do is align images or text to the left and right center. We can insert a link. So let's just go over how to insert a link. Let's say we want this to be a link, YouTube right here. We'll highlight that. We'll click Insert Link, and then we can just type in YouTube. And now, if you want, you can click Apply, but I actually like to go into the link options here and give it some more options. And I like it to be with open the link in a new tab. And again, I'm just going to write youtube.com. And here I'll click add link, and now youtube.com is the link. Another thing we can do down here is we can go through how to change the color of something. So let's say I want to change the color where it says YouTube channel, and I want to make that red. I can click on where it says text color here, and I can click red, and it will simply make that red. So after we've made those changes, let's go back and just hit publish here on the right side, and we can start checking out how that post actually will look on the front page here. So if we refresh this area here on the front page, we're actually going to see something. I just realized if we go into appearance and then we go to menus, I realized that I didn't set the menu up properly. And what I need to do here is, you're going to have to do this as well. I actually deleted the wrong home tab, and we have a page home tab instead of the custom link. So what we need to do is actually just copy the name of your website. In my case, it will be until.com, and yours should probably be till your extension as well. And just paste that in here. And for link text, I'm just going to call that home and click add to menu. And now you'll see it's the one with the custom link. I accidentally deleted the one that had custom link before. So let's drag this up to the top, and let's go and delete this one here. I apologize about that. I definitely did not do that on purpose. And we'll just save this menu, and now let's go and refresh it again. And here we are, home, and here's Tom's photos, and here's the post that we just made. Now you don't see any of the changes we made right here, but when you click on read more, we can actually see that the changes should be now into effect within the actual post. And there we are. There's the dummy text that's bolded, the italicized text, the YouTube link. Let's see if we click it, if it goes to YouTube in a new tab. And there it does. And next, if we look down here, here's the red color right here for this text. And now here's our block quote as well with this line to the left of it. And if we scroll down, we'll see the rest of our text. And down here is where our Access Press social share icons have been added. So I just wanted to point that out to you as well. And below that is where people can leave comments on the blog post. So let's just go back here and we'll add another blog post. So we'll go to post, click add new. And here let's just add learn WordPress with Tom. And I'm again going to just copy and paste in this to the post here. And now I'm going to show you how to add a image. So let's go right here and we'll click at the top here in front of this text. We'll click add image. And in my media library, I've already added an image of myself, just me laying on the couch. And we'll just click insert into the post here. Now you may notice the text looks a little funny. It's way down here at the bottom. And let's say we wanted to wrap that text around to the right of it or to the left of it. What we can do is simply just click on the image itself and then click align left, and now the text wraps around it to the right side. Or we can click align right and it will wrap around to the left side. Another thing you can do also is you can actually expand or retract this image. So if you want it to be larger, you can do that. Just know that you're probably going to lose some quality if you make it too large. It's easier to retain the quality if you make it smaller. So that's how you would add an image in. And then let's just go and click publish here to see how that will look and if it shows up on our home page. Actually, we have to go back and click home. I'm sorry about that. We'll go down and here it says learn WordPress with Tom, my most recent post right here. And now we can click read more on it. And within this post, there's the image right here with the text wrapped around it. And there again are the social sharing icons and things like that at the bottom. Now let's say we wanted to make our post here have a video embedded on it. And I said that we have trouble with the read more videos sometimes. Let's just go to my YouTube channel real quick and we'll add a video from there about the read more. If I go to my channel and I go to Video Manager, I'll find my videos here and I will just go and look for the one about, there we go, add to read more in WordPress posts. If I click on that, I'll pause this we can go down, and within this area we're going to see the share button here. We'll click on share, then we'll click on embed, and this will give us the code to paste it into our own website. So let's just copy that, and when we go back over here, we'll go into the text side, and if you wanted to, something you can do is like make a little asterisk or something like this to know where you want to post the video, and then you click onto the text side, and there it is, the asterisks, and now we can just paste it in here, our video code that we got from over here. So once we paste that in, we can click update here, and let's just go back to the visual side to see if there was any changes here. We should see the video, and there it is. Now if we refresh this current post that we're in here, let's see what happens. And there's our video post within our blog. Now next, let's actually go and make a third post here. I think it's a good number to have, is 3, so we'll go and click add new. And I'm just going to name this one YouTube channel. And again, I'm going to copy and paste this all in here. And the reason why I chose this is because I wanted to show you the word YouTube channel here. Now, I'm going to make that our focus keyword for SEO, but before we start with that, let's just go down, and I'm going to make it show you what the different font sizing you can do. So if I go on this and I want to make it large font, I can make it a header 1 and say YouTube channel. And header 1 is the largest font that we can make. You can make a header 2, 3, whatever you want to do. I'm going to leave it as a header 1 just for this case, and I actually may even make it a different color. Let's make it red again here for YouTube. Now you can add categories, and I've actually clicked add new already and added YouTube as a category. And now if I wanted to, I can go down and also add tags, and these are all good for SEO purposes, and this will show up on your posts and help people be able to find them more easily. So let's just say YouTube channel. I'll make those tags. Maybe I'll add YouTube in here, and then I'll click add, and now you can see those 3 have been added, and this is the category. It's under YouTube. Now to do SEO for this, let's just focus on YouTube channel being the phrase here, the key phrase. And if we wanted to, we could hide the social sharing icons at the bottom, but I don't want to do that. And if we want to, we also can set a featured image for the post about YouTube, our YouTube channel. So to do that, I'm going to upload an image real quick that I've already created, and I'll just click select image, and I'll just go to upload files, and I'll just select files here, and I'll go to an image that I've already used on my blog, on my WordPress video tutorials on YouTube already, and let's just go within here, and I'll just add a random one from my YouTube channel. And it's interesting, the one that I chose is actually on how to schedule a post in WordPress, and if we set that as our featured image, I'm actually going to talk about that next. To schedule a post in here, we'll see right now that's our featured image for the post, by the way, and you can remove it by clicking below. But if you go up here, you can actually schedule a post by going and then clicking where it says publish immediately, and then we'll click edit, and let's just click we'll publish a few days from now, and you can choose the time, and then you click OK, and then you can click schedule. I'm actually not going to schedule it to be that time, but that is how you can do it there, and that's good if you write a lot of blog posts in advance, because then you have a lot of content and you're ahead of schedule basically. Now another thing I wanted to show you as far as SEO goes is right here we have a green rating, and basically the way Yoast works is they use like a stoplight format. Green is good, yellow, or what I would call orange, is okay, and then red is bad. Right now we have a green rating for YouTube channel, but it could be better, and they actually tell you how you can improve by reading over this analysis here. You can see what things you can do better to make your keyword phrase better and have an increased chance of ranking for it. So down here you can find that information all the way at the bottom. But something I know that I can make better is if I change this permalink structure. And now let's get into doing that. We're going to hop over into the settings section here on the left side to do so. So let's just click on settings, and where it says permalinks is where we're going to need to go first. So let's go to permalinks instead of just settings here. And where it says custom structure, let's just click in there, and we will click %, post name, %. And that is how I like to have mine structured. And what that will do, if we remember what our posts looked like just a second ago, was random letters and numbers. If we go back into posts here, let's just click on YouTube channel again where we were. And now it says wpwithtom.com/YouTube channel. It doesn't say all random numbers and letters or P equals 70 or something like that. It means post equals whatever number you're on. It just says what the post is about, and that helps increase your SEO efficiency basically to rank for a word. It has your on-page SEO is more improved that way. However, you still have to get backlinks and build up strong backlinks and authority within your website to really have a chance at ranking well in Google for competitive keywords. That could be a whole nother video in itself, but this is a great way to have a base and get started on what you need to do for SEO. Now let's go back into the settings, and we'll actually go to where it says General. I'm just going to cover a couple little things in here. Here you can actually change the title and the tagline as we went over in the Appearance Customized section. But we also can change other things like the email address for the account. And I like to change the time zone so it's on a proper time zone. This is important because if I do schedule a post to post at a certain time, I want to make sure it's actually going to post on my hour, not 4 hours different from what I scheduled at. In my case, yours might even be further off than 4 hours, so it's important to put your right time zone in this area. I'm going to leave the date format as is, but I'm going to change the time format. I like to capitalize PM and AM in this case, and I like my week to start on Sunday. I'll save the changes here, and next I'll go down to where it says reading. Now this is something I wanted to point out. This says front page displays your latest posts. Now this is where our home page is displaying our blog post in this case. This is what we want. And now you can actually see there's the post with the image, featured image in it right there that I made for this YouTube channel image. So if you wanted to, you could have that as well as a featured image. However, that displays our blog post. Now if we wanted a static page, we could do that, and you can select a different page. Say About Me is what you want people to see when they first get there, and you want the post page to display, let's say, your blog if we had that on here. You could totally do that, but in our case we're going to leave the settings as is, with your post page being the front page, the home page. So I'm going to not even save these changes because we didn't change anything here. The other thing we can get into is the discussion area, and in here you can change a lot of different settings that basically apply to comments and article settings, as well as emails and basically approving comments and comment moderation. You can also set avatars for users and all kinds of things like your site rating, who it's appropriate for, and you can save those changes at the bottom. To go through your comments, you can find them in this comments section here on the left. So that's about it for the blog post and the settings here. If you have any questions, reach out to me, but for now we're going to move on to the next part, which is the About Me page in the Pages section. So we can go into About Me and click Edit for now. So before we get started here, I'm actually just going to X out of this YouTube video here, and I'm going to start off by pasting in that same dummy text. This isn't going to be too much different than what we did before, but I do want to just go over how to make a page like this. So let's just add About Me in here as well. And we'll do this for SEO purposes. Actually, I want this to be at the top. Sorry about that. So I'm going to make sure I'm at the top here, and then I'm going to add About Me. And I will just highlight this text, and I'm going to make it larger text. Let's make it an H. We'll make it H1 actually. And here I want to just throw in another picture of myself. So I'm just going to click Add Media. And I'll just upload a picture real quick. Actually, I'll just add the one from the media library since I already have one on here. And I'll just insert it into the post. And again, I'm going to wrap around the text. So let's just go and click on this, and I'll put it aligned to the left. And there we go. Now, I just wanted to show you about the About Me. We'll go down here and make the focus keyword say About Me. And let's also go into text here and write About Me a couple times, like randomly. I'm just going to write About Me here. And let's see if it changes to green just by doing this. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. You may have to add in more. Now you see the SEO just went from orange or yellow to green. So that means it's good. You should add your keyword phrase that you're trying to rank for here. In my case, it would be About Me. At least I'll say like one time per 100 words. So that is something to definitely try to remember, and it does help if you make it a header, the word you're trying to rank for, and the URL and the title right here, all the same keyword that you're trying to rank for, because basically it just makes everything clear to Google that that's what you want to rank for and that's the word you're going after. So after that, I'm just going to update this page, and I'm going to quickly cover how to change widgets. So if we go over back to the home page here, we can click on About Me, and here we go. Here's the About Me page. There's the image, and there's more text here as well. Now if you wanted to change some of these widgets here on the right side, it is good to have these for your blog, I would say, and we did touch on this earlier. You can now see that Categories has YouTube in it, and the Archives now has August 2016 when I'm making this video, and here it shows the recent posts as well. Now if you wanted to change some of that though, you can, and I did go over that a little bit earlier within the Appearance Customize section. You can do that right here on the front side and see it in real time when you go into Widgets and then Sidebar, and you can choose to reorder and add a widget and things like that, but I think it's easier to actually do this from the dashboard area, in my personal opinion. So to do that, we would go to Appearance and then go to Widgets. Now let's just move this back to the home page as well, and while we're loading that widgets page. So here are our widgets on the right side. The search bar, that's good if someone wants to search for a particular post, if they want to search for a tag or something like that. The comments, the recent posts, archives, categories. Now let's say you wanted to add one thing and maybe you wanted to remove one. Since the comments doesn't have anything in it, let me just remove that for now. And you can just click on this right here within the Appearance Widgets section. And you can choose the number of comments to show, but I'm going to just go and click Delete there. I do like to limit the recent posts to 3 to 5, something in that range. I think 5 is a good number. Now let's say I want to add an available widget here from the left side. Let's say I want to add a calendar. I can just click on that and drag it over, and I can put it in here. I'll put it at the bottom so it's easy to find where it's at, and I'll save it. Now if we go and we refresh right here on the home page, we'll see that now there's no more comments section right here between posts and archives. And there's the calendar, and it says it's August 21st today when I'm making this. So that is another thing you can do if you want to add and change widgets. There are actually plugins that are available that you can download to add specific widgets. Like if you wanted to add your image on the home page and write a little about me, you could do that with a plugin for a widget plugin. And you can look up those kind of plugins if you'd like. But I just wanted to show you that you can also reorganize them within this area. So now if we go over to the home page here and we scroll down, you may have seen at the bottom there is this 2016 copyright proudly powered by WordPress, and then it says the theme and the designer name with a link to his site, I imagine. And I really do appreciate the theme that he's made. It's a great theme, especially for beginners to get started with, but a lot of people aren't going to want to have this on their own WordPress site. Now, to go over to how to delete this, I'm going to go into some of the code, and if you're not comfortable with it, you can definitely just leave it down there. It's not really that big of a deal, but some people really don't like it. So to edit that, we'll go into Appearance and then Editor, and we'll go and look on the right side for where it says Theme Footer and Footer.php right here. Click on that, and now in this code here, you're going to see quite a bit going on, and this is written in PHP, which may be a little confusing for everyone, but if you basically highlight from where it starts and says this question mark PHP echo copy with the date here, and go down to this question mark and the end tag right here, and you can just, if you're not comfortable with it, I would suggest that you actually highlight all of the text on this entire page, and then you copy it over into like a Word document or a Notepad document, just so you have it. So when you save it, if it screws up, you can literally just copy it back in and save it again, and then it will go back to how it was. But to get rid of it, we'll go from right here, where we start with the echo copy with the date, down to here. I'm just going to click delete. And now, if I scroll down here, I can save it. Click Update File. Now let's go back over to the home page and we'll see what happened with this. And there it is, it's gone. And that's the last thing that we're going to do within this tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it and you were able to learn something. Remember, this tutorial was based for beginners, and all of my tutorials are. If you want to find out more, you can go to wpwithtom.com for more information about my premium courses and other videos I've made, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for other videos I've made as well. I really appreciate you taking the time to go through this course, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, everyone.